Hello, my lovely. You didn't get to where you are in your business by doing shit the way that everybody else does. And you know that what got you to where you are now is not going to get you to where you want to be. And if you are listening to this podcast, it's because you want to be the go to for what you do better than anyone else. Your brilliance is the niche. Being you, that bold, unfuckwithable presence that you've secretly been craving to set free, she is in there. And that means you will have to burn some old bridges down. And attracting your people will also repel those who are not for you. Fucking hooray. Becoming a force of nature business and brand means no more Miss People Pleaser, no more hiding your turbo brain, no more dimming down jack shit. And if you have ever been told to tone it down as a woman with ADHD, it's time to tone your shit all the way the fuck back up. That is how you create unstoppable momentum in your business and visibility that is something you've been avoiding, but that you truly want. This podcast is about stepping into your upgrade, watering down anything, never change the fucking world. You were not born to be forgettable. And as one of my all-time favorite quotes says, well-behaved women rarely make history, and nothing about you or me is well-behaved, at least not anymore. In today's episode, I'm going to go over a few things that are going to keep you from being hired faster that I see repeatedly when my clients come to me. When I'm doing the deep dive, these are some of the things that I see over and over and over again. And that's because a couple of reasons. Usually they're in growth mode. They want to become the go-to. They're becoming more visible. Maybe even changing who their ideal client is just a little bit. And these little things, these little tweaks, they're actually responsible for also leaking what I call your big three currencies: time, energy, money, and I shit you not, these are missed all the time, but they're super easy fixes. And so I wanted to point them out in case you hadn't thought of these yourself, because when I see patterns over and over again with my clients, I want to bring it over here and talk to you about it just in case they aren't on your radar. So from one feral force of nature to another, turn the volume up to an 11 and welcome to the Feral Women's Club. La, 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 la. Welcome back to the ADHD Entrepreneu, the podcast for feral ADHD women in business who refuse to play by the fucking rules. That's you and me. My name is Carrie. I'm your host. I'm the chief weirdo of Carrie Out Loud. And if you are new here, welcome. I am so glad that you found the podcast. If this episode has an impact on you or helps you in any way, can you do me a quick favor? If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leave a 5-star rating and a review with which episode you love the most. If you're watching on YouTube, hi. In either place, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you can be reminded to come back every Wednesday. Lord knows we love a good reminder. And please let me know how you found the podcast. I would love to hear that. Since I understand your ADHD, both professionally and personally, each episode has my 25 years of business expertise filtered through the lens of having this feral funhouse of a brain, also known as an ADHD brain neurodivergence. And if you are late diagnosed or self-identified, you've found your people. My approach to life and to business is literally all about focusing on the upsides of our Technicolor brains and how to use them to our advantage in our life and in our business. And I do this while also acknowledging that the hard parts are very real and they're also manageable. And I do not believe that ADHD is a disability, and know that ADHD women can literally do whatever the fuck they put their minds to. Period. So if that is not your jam, I may not be your jam, and that's okay. I am not offended. But if you share this point of view or this point of view piques your curiosity, stick around. So let's get into it. These may seem simple, but when you go and take a look, you might be like, "Oh shit," because I know one of these I did with my own mentor, and I was like, "Oh, okay." But this is really for these times when you are looking to slingshot forward. And you may be talking to a different level of client or a different type of client, or you may be working on becoming the go to. You may be in growth mode. There's all different reasons why you would want to pay attention to these things. But I just think in general, when we button these up, they stop us leaking money, time, energy because there's a lot less redundancy. It's a lot easier for people to understand how to work with you. So let me go ahead and get into my little list. Okay. So when somebody lands on your social media, let's talk Instagram specifically because that's where I work the most. Can somebody landing on your Instagram page tell how to hire you within 30 seconds or less? Is it easy for them when they land right there on your page to find a way or figure out how to hire you? If the answer is no, make that happen. That will lose you money. That will leak the currency of money. When somebody lands on your Instagram page, again, and they do not read your bio, don't read it. Bio is gone, disappeared, doesn't exist. Is it clear as they start looking at your content, maybe your carousels, your reel covers, whatever, the wording on the screen as they're looking at your maybe, let's say, top 9 posts? Is it clear what you do and who you do it for? So when you are in this kind of mode of becoming more known and in that growth, you want to make sure that when somebody lands on your page, and you can go take a look at my page as an example, it's not going to be exactly the same for you. Clearly, you are going to want to do the things that work best for you. It doesn't have to look like mine does or have the aesthetic that mine does, but having words that are large, clear fonts that say keywords about the things you do in your business. I will give you an example of my business. You're going to see the word simple or simplification. You're going to see late diagnosed or self identified ADHD women. You're going to see women in business, female entrepreneurs, female founders, all of those things. But you're going to know, one, I help women with ADHD, and two, I help them simplify. The other word you may also see is growth or grow, right? So you're going to see those words when you go on to my Instagram and you just look at it. You're going to see those words come up over and over again. It's clear who I work with and what I do. So go take a look at your last 9 or 10 posts. And if it's like few and far between and you are having trouble being seen, this could be one of the things that's going on. Super easy tweak. And it doesn't mean you need to go and create all these carousels in Canva and all these slides in Canva, like reel covers. You can literally create those simply right within Instagram if that's how you do it. But make sure you are using fonts that are legible and make sure that they are large so it is easy to read when you just land on that page. Next, as much as you hear, oh, your link in your bio doesn't matter, or don't tell people, but all that bullshit. Have a clear, straightforward link in your bio that is not a fucking hot mess. Meaning, does it give 1 or 2 free resources, a way to book a call with you if you are, everyone I'm talking to is in service-based industries, right? That's who I work with, is business, or not business, but coaches of all kinds, service-based businesses of all kinds. And one of the things that I can tell you is that when somebody goes into your link, if it is all over the place and they can't even find maybe even just how to talk to you, reach out to you besides in the DMs, if they want to go take a look at your website, if you have one, because not everybody's going to have one, that's fine. Does it take them to your stand store? Does it show what your current offering? If you are not a higher ticket and you're more low ticket or low end, are your most the are the words are hard today apparently, are the few products that you know get purchased the most. Say it's digital products or they're learning something from you specifically, your method, whatever. Are those things clearly marked? When you go into the link in my bio right now, I believe there's 4, it might be 5 things, but it's 4. It's super clean, super short, and it takes people there. And if you want to tell me that that doesn't matter, I'm going to call bullshit, because if you listen to last week's episode with Ashley, she straight up said, I never read your content. I connected with you in stories. I went to the link in your bio and I checked out your website to see how to work with you. That is we're talking, it's September 30th, 2025 right now. People are going to look at those things. Clean it up. Make sure it's not messy. 1 or 2 free resources, a way to book a call with you if you do that, or a way to purchase your 1 or 2 most popular products, and your podcast or the link to your website, whatever. But short, sweet, to the point. Don't make them have to hunt and search, because what will they do? They will just get out, right? The next thing, and I've talked about this before, but if you have any questions, just shoot me a DM, shoot me a message. Are you using tofu, mofu, bofu content? I know, tofu, not the food. Top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. But I'm going to break this down really, really basic. This is content that talks to people who have never met you before, to those who have been there a while and are curious what it's like to work with you. So you're kind of giving them a little bit of that detail, that info behind the scenes. It could be a reel, it could be a carousel, whatever. And then are you talking to people who have credit card in hand, ready and waiting to understand how to work with you? There are 3 kinds of people finding you at all times. There are 3 kinds of people in your audience following you at all times. People who have just found you, people who've been there, and people who want to hire you now. They're all there. You have to meet them where they're at. So, for example, you can kind of turn up and down the volume on certain things. If you notice you're not having as much conversion, you can add maybe a little more middle of funnel, bottom of funnel content. If you are looking to bring in new faces and meet new humans and find additional people to bring into your world, lots of top of funnel, middle of funnel, right? So it's more nuanced than that, but it doesn't have to be overly complicated. Those terms, those terms that I gave you are actual like marketing 101, top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. But I don't like to think of people in funnels. Like I like to think of connection, right? So you're connecting with people who've just met you, are just kind of getting to know you, or putting out pieces of content that are literally calling out their name, going, I'm your person, where you are like a neon sign and everything else is like gray and dull, right? These are things to keep in mind. Why? When you are asleep, when you are out hanging out with your kids, when you are hanging out with family, when you are on vacation, when you are doing any of that shit, your content, all types of content, which I'll get into a second, should be talking to all 3, because somebody will be there on your page and just start binging your content, and they're convincing themselves you're the right person for them because of what they're reading. If it's all top of funnel all the time, you're prepping them and priming them for them to hire other people, because you're giving them, you're bringing them into awareness of what you do and that what you offer is out there and available, but maybe not teaching them exactly how to hire you. And I'll get to that in a second. So you want to make sure that in your grid on Instagram, and even if you are doing a podcast, if you are doing Substack, this is anywhere. This is like, again, marketing 101. This is basic marketing. And it isn't taught as often in the online arena, but it is referenced sometimes in different ways. But like, this is something that shifts a lot for you, because your content becomes an employee that is working for you when you are off work. So when you think about your content as an employee, how's your employee doing? She working hard or hardly working? I'm not talking about perfection. I'm not talking about some exact method. I'm not talking about you have to schedule content and make this big plan. I'm saying, is it talking to all three types of people? The end. And if you want to see I have like a little thing I can send you that's top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, what that even looks like. Let me know and I can send that to you. On the same note, there are 3 pinned posts you can put at the top of your grid that walk people through top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. You do this in the form of 3 pinned posts to your grid. 1, about you. 2, how to hire you and what your current services are. And 3, testimonials in the form of screenshots, testimonials in the form of videos that your clients have created. I'm going to be putting mine up there. I had a podcast episode last week with a client of mine. I'm going to be putting a reel instead of my testimonial, like slides. I'm literally putting this video there because it will speak to my fuck yes dreamy clients, seeing another woman who has gone through some of the initial simplification with me and what it has felt like to them, right? So something that shows that you are working with people, that people are hiring you. The next one, and this isn't talked about enough, but we hear about repetition. Repetition, repetition, repetition. I always go to the Nike example, just do it. How long have we been hearing that? For decades, decades. But when you hear just do it, it's Nike. You see the swish, it's Nike. Right? It has the same underlying theme, repeated over and over again, but in different ways. If you are right now in that next level growth mode, if you are right now leaning into what you truly want to be known for, if you are right now growing your account, you want to stick to one underlying theme on repeat for a while, and it's going, your brain may be rebelling against that, but let me explain to you how it can be way easier and more fun and still kick you in the dopamine and still keep you in your creativity, but also start showing over and over again that you are the go-to and what you want to be known for. Basically, for me, there's 2. Late diagnosed ADHD women can do whatever the fuck they put their minds to. That's like the underlying hum of my whole business. And simplification. That's a big word, right? Business simplification. Well, yes, it encompasses my genius. It encompasses my skill set, right? Because simplification can mean a lot of different things. But at the end of the day, my clients have said over and over and over and over again that they want simplification, simplified. I want it to be more simple. I just want this to be simple. That word has come up on repeat. You may have a word like that in your business. You may hear certain things over and over again in your business with the people you help, that you help them get the best results. What are those words? Find those words, figure out what you want to repeat over and over again. But for me, simplification can be simplification of social media, simplification of sales, simplification of messaging. So it is simplification and the things that I help my clients do on repeat, right? So do you have something that's like an underlying hum or an underlying theme to all of your content right now while you are in growth mode? And again, this is not a forever thing. This is like when you are really in that next step, in that next level, truly. So this is something to do for 6 months to a year to really start getting your name out and build your reputation even more than it already is, and to become more visible and to become more seen for what you want to be known for. When it comes to your website, if you have one, go to your website, and the same thing I said about your Instagram. Is there about you, your programs, and how to hire you at the top of your website, or very, very easy to find when they land there? For me right now, I am in the process of, I'm going to be redoing my website. I know that mine has those things at the top, but not as clearly as I want them to be. So the more clear, the better. About me, how to hire me, testimonials. Like it can be literally those three simple, basic things, but make sure that they're there and they're clear. If they are buried under a bunch of shit, if you have to scroll for 5 minutes to try to find those things, then you are going to lose people. Not everybody, clearly, but you will lose people. You want to simplify the path from somebody finding you to understanding how to hire you. You want to really dial that in, no matter where you are, whether it's social media, whether it's emails, I don't care where it is. You want to make sure that's dialed in. And then last but certainly not least, and I've probably mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again because I feel like this is something that is, it's literally one of the most simple, basic things, and it will go out the window the quickest. Calls to action on everything. Because a call to action is simply an invitation to the next step. That's it. Somebody who doesn't want to work with you or you aren't their jam, they won't take the next step. If you are, they now know what's the next thing to do, right? So I want you to go look at your last 10 pieces of content. Did they have a call to action on the screen, on a reel, or on the screen on your carousel and in your caption? Both? Or if you are doing like a talking head reel, did you also say the call to action out of your mouth? Are you hitting it in all three ways? Because everybody learns differently and everybody processes differently. You want to make sure to hit all of those things, right? Or listen to your last 10 podcast episodes. Did you have a call to action on how to work with you, to get into a free resource that you have, how to contact you for a call if you offer those, to DM you or to email you with questions about something? Like, do you have a call to action in there? Or do you have a newsletter email sequence? Does it lead to a next step with you once they've gotten to know you? That could be a newsletter sequence or a free resource of any kind. Do they all lead to you? Give every single piece of content a purpose 95% of the time. I will never say 100% you need to do that, because our brains will start itching and we will immediately rebel like, fuck that, I'm not doing it. But if you want to talk to your most fuck yes dreamy clients over and over again, you want to have them in your DMs. I don't give a shit if they're commenting on your content. I don't give a shit if they're liking it. I don't give a shit about any of that. Are they in the DMs? Are they talking to you? Are you having conversations? That is how you connect with people. And it's connecting with people that grows your business. Whether it's through referral, they might know somebody, you might want to do business with them. They might have services you need. You know what I'm saying? It's like, give that purpose to every piece of content for the most part. If you do something like a once a month photo dump or a weekly photo dump or something like that, great, fine. Like literally I do not want you stressing so hard about this that you're overthinking it, which now that I've said that, you're probably going to overthink it anyway. But here's how to not overthink it. Think to yourself whenever you're creating a piece of content, whether that is a email, whether that is a podcast episode, no matter what it is, think to yourself, what is the natural next step somebody hearing this or reading this or finding this would naturally want to take? What would they want to take? What would they want to know? So, for example, if it's like a top of funnel piece of content, tell them to stick around and hang out with you for all kind of bingeable content on whatever it is you do, right? Whether it's business to business or business to consumer, it doesn't matter. If it's a middle of funnel piece of content where you're kind of talking to that person who's not sure if they want to hire you yet, but they're kind of checking you out, lead them into having a conversation with you in the DMs. Literally say, shoot me a DM. Let's talk about this. Let's talk shop. Let's talk about XYZ. And then for anything that's more bottom of funnel, that's like directly like hire me. That's what you say, hire me. Here's how you hire me and how. Because your people, when they come there, they are looking for you. And when they find you, they want to understand exactly how to do the next steps with you. It's really just at the end of the day, tell them what's next. Tell them how to find you. Keep it simple. So even though these may feel like more basic things, I'm telling you, a lot of people miss this. When they're coming in to talk to me, these are the things that I really see missing the most or going on the most, that are things that you just might not think of day in and day out. But when people are finding you and looking to work with you, they're looking for these things anyway. So it's not like you're basically doing them a disservice by keeping these things away from them, versus helping them find you, helping them open conversations, and helping them just chat with you, have those connections, because that's really what grows your business and compounds it over time. But right now, if you are in this growth mode and simplification, these things, simplifying them will help the process of that client finding you to figuring out what you offer and how to chat with you about it. So let me know which one of these helped you the most. And with that, I'm going to end today's episode. If you would like to get into my ecosystem and keep up with the latest and greatest, hop on to my newsletter that's specifically for late diagnosed and self-identified ADHD women in business. The link is in the show notes. Or if you are ready to talk about your own business growth, what that looks like to work together, you can book a free clarity call by shooting me a DM on Instagram at Carry Out Loud, or you can book it through the link in my show notes. It's 30 minutes or so. It's not a coaching call. I get to know you, what your business is, where your business is at, your growth goals, and we see if we're a match to work together. That's it. Easy peasy. So until next week, I see you. I love you. I'm fucking rooting for you always. So kick ass, take names, and stay feral. Bye. Oh, hey, you're still here. Thank you for listening all the way to the end. Be sure to check out the show notes for all the ways to follow me. And of course, my goal is to find and help as many women with ADHD get away from the 9-to-5 grind, because it's just not designed for our neurospicy brilliance, and there are other ways to do life. So by subscribing, sharing, and giving a 5-star review, it helps other women find this podcast as well. And if there's an episode you really love, please feel free to take a screenshot and share it on your social and tag me in it so that I can thank you personally. Until next time, you spicy brained unicorn. Bye.